It's the 2017 Men's and Women's Basketball Championships live from Las Positas College on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Join us today, Game 1 of 4, Fullerton and Canada, starting at 1 p.m. SoCalCollegeSports.com, your home for championship coverage in the 3C2A.
And a very pleasant good afternoon and welcome to the 3C2A Basketball Championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. I am Jeff Stoynoff, joined alongside Mike Zapata. And Michael, a fantastic weekend awaits us, 14 games in 4 days. But not to worry, we can't wait. This is going to be fantastic stuff here. Expect to see a lot of drama, both the men's and women's, every second right here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Let's get started with our first matchup. Number one in the South, Fullerton College. The Hornets come in after winning the Orange Empire Conference this season. They'll take on the Canada College Colts. So let's start with the Hornets. Obviously a very solid team playing in a very deep conference, but they also have a stern challenge here as expected in the quarters.
Yeah, it's a great point that you make. Talking with Coach Perry Webster for Fullerton before the game, very concerned with some of the motion that the Colts will run tonight. So very, very key for them to be locked in defensively in transition in the half court because what they do, they have a couple bigs that can step out on you and really hurt you from the perimeter. And, of course, that's going to open it up for everybody else on the inside. It's going to be interesting how they adjust. Yeah,
Kenyatta, as you allude to, comes in a little bit of a break in the tournament format here. Number 4 seed Fresno goes down to American River. So Kenyatta, the 5 seed, ends up hosting both games. They take care of business. They're here. A terrific story in Kenyatta as well. 2 years ago they were here in the championship round, making the Final Four. But last year, just 10 wins, so a terrific bounce back under head coach Mike Reynoso this season. And as you pointed out, a very solid team. They don't go very deep. They're only about 8 deep. But all 5 in that starting lineup can shoot it from anywhere. They're going to look to spread out the Hornets and see if they can pull another upset here as we are set to get underway.
Yeah, attrition probably not going to be much of a factor until day 3, but you have to get to day 3, and we should have a good one here in game 1 of 4 today, the Hornets and the Colts.
And the starting 5s are on the floor. We'll set the lineups for you very shortly. This is Ian Fox in control for the Hornets, who win the tap. It'll be Fox along with Nick Anderson in the backcourt. Reese up front with Kendall Lauderdale and Kenny Barnes for the Hornets. Fox around the screen, tries to drop it into Barnes, and there's a steal. Kenyatta among the leaders as a team in steals here in 2017. Mike Pickney, the second leading scorer for Kenyatta at the controls. Off to Burton. They'll get it down low to Navarrete. Or this is Keith Dickerson, rather. Goes to the fadeaway. That's no good. Rebound tapped around, and Reese has it.
Not a bad shot there from Dickerson. Touch a little bit off here, and you can expect some early butterflies from both teams.
Reese starts a drive, finds Barnes to the hoop, missed the layup. Rebound on the floor, and Navarete's got it. Navarrete, or I should say that's Dickerson. I'll get used to that. So Dickerson.
Travel.
No call on the travel, but the turnover anyway. Davis a little bit out of control.
Is that another version of Ball Don't Lie?
Anderson off to Fox. Thought about a long 3. Starts to move, but he's bumped. First foul called. It'll go against the Colts. It's going to go on Kimball Davis. 3 guards set for Kenyatta. Marcel Burton, Mike Pickney, Kimball Davis.
Remember, everybody, spread the word. You can watch this game live on YouTube. You can go to the YouTube app on your YouTube-enabled device, set-top box, smartphone, tablet, PC. SoCal College Sports 1. Catch us the entire weekend.
I want to correct one thing. There's Reese. The shot from outside missed everything. Still scoreless here. Davis Kimball, along with Marcel Burton and Mike Pickney. And then up front, it is Anthony Navarrete and Keith Dickerson for the Colts. Pickney angles right, dancing on the dribble, fires it down low. This is Navarrete. The layup is good.
Two players of note from Coach Perry Webster earlier today, number 2 and number 32, and that would be Anthony Navarrete and Mike Pickney.
Navarrete comes in averaging 15.6 a game, along with 9.8 rebounds. The 9.8 rebounds makes him one of the leaders in the state. Fox will fire from 3 and hit. So Ian Fox, who can shoot it from long range.
Yeah, you can't give him any room because Fox was in the ear of Keith Dickerson, said, hey, son, you better come guard me.
44% from long range for Ian Fox. A turnover on Kenyatta. Just underway here, game 1 of 4, the men's quarterfinals here in the CCCAA Basketball Championships.
Fullerton's so good this year. 2 wins over Saddleback in the Orange Empire Conference. And, Jeff, you know, we have sung the praises of that conference, one of the toughest in the state.
Yeah. Interestingly, Kenyatta, second in the Coast North. And if there's an Orange Empire Conference of the North, as Fox tries for 3 again, rimming no. Navarrete with a strong box out. The Coast North is that conference. There were 8 teams in the North that won 20 games this season, Michael. 4 of them were in the Coast North. So Kenyatta finishing second in that conference. No small achievement.
That sounds like the South Coast North for the women. Speaking of the women, the quarterfinals tomorrow. We'll have coverage for you the entire weekend here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. You can also go to CCCAASports.org or our website, www.SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Colts showing a little bit of pressure. Dickerson leans over the dribble. Circles left. Picks it up. Barnes working in the low post. Spins baseline. Shot blocked by the backboard, I should say. Navarrete has another rebound. He's got about 3 or 4 early on. Dickerson into the lane, the offensive foul. Looked like Barnes who took the charge. First substitution, Salafai Osiamalo. Well, check that. Osiamalo not checking in just yet. Dickerson around the screen. They'll work it around to Fox. Hornets taking some time. The shot clock at 12. Fox will fire from long range. That's good. Ian Fox has been the Hornet offense.
I really like Fox. Not only does he stir it up with opposing players, he's talking to the Kenyatta faithful on the opposite side after the made shot. It's great.
A little Larry Bird in him, I think. Pickney thought about a step back three. Dickerson will fire from 3. Rimming no good. Barnes snaps down the rebound. Fox into the front court. They'll work it around. Dickerson with a baseline drive. Kicks it back out. Fox passes on the 3. Drives the lane. Scoop shot is good.
And Fox a stud. It's Ian Fox 8, Kenyatta 2.
The Hornets will spread it around. But Fox off to the fast start. Barnes averaging 26 a game in the playoffs for the Hornets. So it's been Kenny Barnes of late. But it shows you how dangerous this team can be. The 3 no good. Dickerson has the rebound. Dickerson jets into the front court. Still on the drive. Missed the layup. Rebound pulled down by Pickney. Pickney wants to run the other way but doesn't have numbers.
Great job in transition defensively from Kenyatta that last time out.
The floater is good. Dickerson hits from 10 feet. That breaks the Hornet run.
We talked about the bigs that can step out for Kenyatta in Navarrete and Dickerson. Dickerson showing very nice touch from the short corner floater.
Fox at the controls. Over to Dickerson on the right wing. That's a foul off the ball.
No, it's going to be Kenny Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes.
On ball screen, and it's going the other way. You have to stop and set. You cannot charge into the defender, and that's exactly what Barnes did. He'll come off. Going to be replaced by Jonathan Ross.
Nigel Carter also checking in for the Hornets. Davis Kimball off to Dickerson. Lavelle Shackelford has checked in. Long 3 for Pickney. Rims no good. Rebound pulled down by Ross. Here come the Hornets. Fox, hard drive to the glass. No good, but a foul called. Fox going to head to the line for a couple of free throws.
Ian Fox, the floor general right now in the entire game, and the Hornets looking very good. And Fox, 8 points already. He has all 8 for the Hornets, and he can go for number 9, number 10 right here.
Yeah, the Hornets have one of those very versatile backcourts with Nick Anderson. Both Anderson averages 4.6 assists, and Fox averages 3.9, so both can handle the ball, both can run the offense. That gives head coach Perry Webster a lot of options as Fox continues to, I was going to say lead the Hornet offense, but how about just completely carry it? All 9 points belong to Ian Fox. One more free throw coming, and it's good. So Fox hits both free throws. A 6-point lead for the Hornets. Osiomalo drops it down low. Dickerson faces up. Skip pass over to Pickney. Nearly stolen. Pickney jump stop into lane. Scoops it in. Pickney, who averages just under 15 a game in the scorebook. Kenyatta creeps back within 4. Ross in from the left. Nice touch on the floater.
Yeah, don't show touch in that spot. You got the drop step. You have the lane. Go finish. Get a dunk. Set the tone down low. That's a travel.
Osiomalo with the walk. The Hornets have doubled up Kenyatta early, 12-6. They'll bring it in at three-quarter court, 14-18 to go in the first half.
Fullerton, so good this year. Of course, we talked about the top seed in the South coming in. And for much of the year, Saddleback was #1 in the entire state. They dispatched them twice in conference. Of course, Saddleback did lose a key player in their stretch run.
Ross working in the post. The half hook is good. So Ross with a quick 4. 14-6. The Hornets off to a fast start. Pickney with the crossover. The teardrop, no good. Anderson has the rebound. He wants to run.
Pickney misses that, but Ross has to be there sooner.
Anderson in from the left. Left-handed layup won't go. Tap, no good. And the rebound to Osiomalo.
Ross is an energy beast. Almost had a tip on that.
Pickney tries to thread one to Shackelford, but Fox has the steal.
Fox got away with a kick. His leg hit the ball before his hand.
Fox with a hard drive. Some contact. No call, but Ross has it for Fullerton. Anderson right around a screen. 18-footer, no good. That was Kendall Lauderdale on the shot attempt.
Probably not the shot that you want from Lauderdale. Still, Hornets with an 8-point lead right now, looking very good early.
Pickney will try to slow it down. Off to Shackelford in the weave. Pickney guarded closely by Anderson. Off to Dickerson. He'll fire from 3. In and out. Rebound on the floor, and Anderson's got it. Both teams doing a great job on the defensive glass. I could scarcely remember an offensive rebound. Timeout on the floor. 12:52 remaining in the first half, and the Hornets have the 8-point lead. You're watching the 3C2A basketball championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. $12:52 remaining in the first half. Want to introduce the officials as well. Craig Hunt, Eddie Shannon, Aaron Broadway handling the officiating. And so far, Michael, no complaints.
So far, so good. Usually they have to defer to me.
Fox, they work it around the outside. Carter back to Fox. Long 3, no good. Long rebound out to Kimball. And Kimball will bring it up now, slow it down.
Bit of a heat check 3 there from Fox, but I like it.
Hornets, one of the best defensive teams in the state. Not surprising that there aren't a lot of fast break opportunities early on for the Colts.
Nice feed.
Terrific pass down low. Shackelford's layup won't go, but he is fouled. So Lavelle Shackelford will head to the line. It's my early candidate for my favorite name of the weekend, Michael.
Shackelford?
Lavelle Shackelford. Shackelford shoots 68% from the line. Colts come in somewhat undermanned. William Green, second on the team in scoring on the season. Did not make the trip. He missed the last 3 games for the Colts in this playoff run. And it doesn't look as though he's available today. Haven't seen him in uniform as Shackelford hits both free throws, gets the Colts back within 6 at 14-8. Interestingly, as Green goes down, you might ask who has stepped up, and the simple answer is everybody. Really, taking a look at the box scores, just the other players have all picked up a few more minutes without William Green. Hasn't been any specific player that's really stepped in and filled Green's role. Fox, they work it around side. Fox on the give and go, no room, back out. Anderson, step back 3, it's good. So Nick Anderson buries the tray.
Looked a lot like another Nick Anderson I've heard of.
Just might be. University of Illinois. Hornets have the 9-point lead. Whistles come in on the drive by Josh Bluford.
Game 2 today, it's the Huskies and the Golden Eagles, ELAC and Feather River, and that is going to be a fun one.
ELAC, City College of San Francisco, sending both the men's and women's team. And I believe that was the case. Was that the case a couple years ago? I know the ELAC women went last year and the ELAC men went 2 years ago. Baseline drive for Shackelford, off the glass and in.
Jeff, we talked about Ross being late earlier in the first half. He is late right there, and that's way too easy at the rim. Coach Webster not happy.
Yeah, Shackelford able to convert point blank. Colts will show a little bit of pressure in the backcourt. Fox over the timeline, shot clock at 20. Reese gets it down low to Ross. Ross finds a cutting Carter. The hook shot won't go. Rebound pulled down by Navarrete. Kimball at the controls. Off to Burton. Burton dancing on the dribble. Kicks it out. Bluford will fire from 18 feet and hit. Josh Bluford buries the jumper. Colts are back within 5, trying to withstand the early onslaught from the top-seeded Hornets in the South. Reese in the high post. Lauderdale kicks it back out. Fox around a Lauderdale screen. The runner off the glass is good.
Ian Fox locked in here.
12 points for Ian Fox.
12 points, 2 of 4 from deep. Doing it all.
Yeah, he scored every which way. Couple of layups, couple of threes, couple of free throws.
Well, he likes to diversify his portfolio in the scoring column.
Long three for Burton, no good. Rebound tapped around, controlled by Lauderdale. Fox into the front court, off to Reese. Gets it back. Fox will fire from way downtown, rimming no good. Bluford has the rebound into the front court. Bluford in from the left on the crossover.
Great feet from, that's Ross, I believe.
Yeah, Ross. Nice job staying in front of Bluford. Kimball has it stripped away. Reese with Kimball giving chase. Great hustle by Kimball.
How about Davis? Kimball running the floor after he gave it up, does not go into the tank. He gets back, can't steal it back, but he does prevent the transition opportunity for the Hornets. When we come back, FC will have the ball. 9:40 remaining in the first half. You are watching SoCalCollegeSports.com's continuing coverage of 3C2A championship basketball.
The Hornets will bring it in baseline right. They have it in with the 7-point lead. Fox holding on the right wing. Starts a drive on Pickney, gets a screen from Lauderdale. Kicks it back out. Reese out to Lauderdale. Drives the lane. Scoop won't go, but a foul called. Lauderdale going to head to the line.
We need a dunk. Somebody needs to go in there and just smash one on somebody.
We've got the camera all ready for it.
I know.
So Lauderdale, who averages 10.3 a game, will head to the line, a 65% foul shooter. Talked about the road for Kenyatta. Fullerton, relatively uneventful as the top seed in the opening round. Easily dispatched Barstow, the number 17 seed, a 31-point win. And then a 16-point win over number 8 seed Chaffee. And that is a very impressive win for the Hornets and really says a lot about what they bring to the table because Chaffee is a regular contender to make the championship round here in recent years in the 3C2A. So to handle Chaffee and do it by double digits shows just how loaded this Hornet team is. Bluford having all kinds of problems as Reese hounds him on defense. Shot clock winding down. Navarrete to the glass, fouled by Ross. Well, that's some of the difficulty that a guy like Anthony Navarrete brings to the table. Shot clock winding down, and Navarrete able to just create a 64% foul shooter. He'll head to the line.
And obviously, if Kenyatta's going to have a chance, they're going to have to capitalize on as many opportunities from the stripe. And that number, that 67%, better go up.
Kenyatta off to a slow start this season. They started just 1-3. Really done a nice job turning it around, though,
nice
as the season has gone on.
Good patience from the free throw line. Navarrete not rushing. A lot of times you'll see guys who have poor rhythm establishment at the charity stripe with low numbers, even though they're good shooters. Right there, we see Navarrete really lock in.
One more free throw coming. Pickney along with Lavelle Shackelford, Salafai Asiamolo, Dickerson, and Navarrete on the floor for Kenyatta. Fox and Anderson remain in the backcourt for Fullerton up front. It's Ross, Lauderdale, and Reese. So Perry Webster's gone a little bit bigger with his lineup. On the floor, Dickerson for three. The high arcer won't go. Tapped up by Lauderdale, no good. Lauderdale working for the rebound in a crowd. He's got it. Out to Reese. Wide open for three. No good. Rebound pulled down. Another opportunity. Ross gets on the offensive glass. So the Hornets, with the 7-point lead, maintain. See if they can get some third chance points here. Lauderdale from 18 feet off the back iron. Another offensive rebound. This one to Ross. Anderson misses from three. The rebound tapped around. It's on the floor. Another offensive rebound.
They going for the my cousin Vinny possession? No, the sixth time was a charm.
They are literally on fifth try. See if we can get to the sixth. Kicked out. Anderson hooks it over to Reese for three. No good. Long rebound. Pickney's finally got it for Kenyatta. Well, you can't ask for a lot more in a possession than 5 attempts. Foul called. This is going to go against Anderson. Boy, Anderson battling against Pickney, and that's been a great matchup early on between two outstanding guards. And Anderson's done a terrific job on Pickney thus far, who has just 2 points. Pickney will bring it in baseline left. Under 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Asiamalo back out front. Pickney coming off a screen. Faces up on Anderson. Bluford, step back, foot on the line. That's a long two, and it's good. Bluford's given the Colts a nice lift off the bench since coming on, but Kenyatta still trails it by 5. The Hornets have led throughout. Well, I guess there was a brief lead for Kenyatta at 2-0. But after the 3 from Fox, the Hornets have had the lead the rest of the way.
Yeah, Story, don't sell it short.
Well, it's selling the Hornets short. They came from behind here. Poked away and stolen. Navarrete to the glass, lays it in. Kenyatta, third in the state in steals as a team. And that's one of the first that we've seen there, igniting the fast break. The Colts creep closer. They're back within 3. Fox off a screen, passes on the 3. Gets it back. Now he'll fire from long range and hit.
Just way too much rhythm there, and Navarrete's got to be better defensively. He has to know that Fox has been feeling it here. That's already his 6th attempt. He's 3 of 6, shooting 50% from beyond the arc.
Yeah, the scouting report should have been clear with a guy who shoots 44% from long range. High post to Navarrete, backdoor cut from Asiamalo, blocked away. Reese with the rejection. Hornets looking to extend on a 6-point lead. Tipped and stolen. Ahead to Pickney. Lays it in. Great job by Bluford getting a hand in on the passing lane and then finding Pickney. Kenyatta back within 4. Anderson angles into the front court, guarded closely by Pickney. Off to Lauderdale. Colts seem to have picked up the intensity defensively as we wind down under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Fox, double pump, glass, good, and a foul.
Looking for his 18th point with a made free throw, and Ian Fox leading the charge here for the Hornets.
It's a little early, but I think it's time to start talking about season high. See what we're talking about here with Ian Fox. On fire here in the first half.
He's playing a very good game, just very solid with the basketball, directing traffic, running the offense, but man, he is really seizing the opportunity It just looks like Kenyatta just didn't read a scouting report, really, for Ian Fox.
His season high is 27. He's well on his way.
Yeah.
Converts the three-point play. Every time the Colts start to make a little move, the Hornets have had an answer thus far. Shackelford swings it across to Pickney, guarded by Fox. Pickney dancing on the dribble, steps back, fires from long range and hits. Pickney starting to get it going. He's up to 7.
Fox, big time mistake there. You cannot allow one of the best players for the opposing team that wide open of a 3.
Yeah, Pickney showed him a little crossover and then buried the step back 3. Carter gets it into Lauderdale, back outside to Anderson. They skip it around, back to Carter, shot clock down to 7. Fox going to need to make something happen, shot clock down to 4. Fox on the drive, in traffic, kicks it outside, and it's a shot clock violation.
Just took too long. Fox patting himself on the chest saying, my bad, but you can't have it. This is what we're almost through the end of the first half, and the Hornets have been pretty good, but they have stagnated here. The Colts have taken advantage, and they are in range, within distance of 4 points.
It's a 30-second timeout. Yeah, just staying with that play for Fox there. Obviously, he's got the shot clock right in front of him there here at Tony Costello Court on the campus of Las Positas College, and they have dual shot clocks right behind the basket. So I think what happened there with Ian Fox was he got into a crowd, and give Kenyatta a lot of credit. They converged upon him. He was in a crowd of 3 players, didn't really have much opportunity to get a shot off. Not a whole lot he could do, and they run out of time. So Kenyatta, trailing by 4, gets the ball back with 5:02 remaining here in the first half.
Well, it's funny what made shots on the offensive end will do for your defensive effort, because I think you and I would both agree that the Colts have taken it to another gear. To some early offensive futility.
Navarrete, meanwhile, heads to the bench. He is playing with 2 fouls right now. So Coach Reynoso elects to take him off the floor. That pass stolen by Lauderdale. So let's see how Kenyatta handles it, losing their top scorer. Anderson outside, wide open for 3. Carter hits. Carter's 3 pushes the lead back out to 7. Dickerson facing up on Lauderdale, spins baseline, shot on the glass, won't go, but a foul called on Kendall Lauderdale. Perry Webster doesn't like it. Lauderdale doing a pretty good job moving his feet, staying with Keith Dickerson. But they're going to say that might have got him with the body as Dickerson went up. First free throw up and good for Keith Dickerson. Dickerson shoots 69% from the line. Looking for his 4th point here. And that one is up and good. So Dickerson connects on both free throws. Back to a 5-point game. Anderson and Fox still in the backcourt for Fullerton. They played pretty much the entire game, if memory serves. Reese with Kenny Barnes, who has returned, playing with 2 fouls, and Kendall Lauderdale up front for the Hornets. Barnes down low. Shot on the glass, won't go. Rebound pulled down by Dickerson, knocked out of play. It's going to belong to Fullerton.
Lauderdale keeps that alive.
Barnes still struggling to get into the rhythm here. Had an opportunity there in close. But the Hornets with another opportunity. Anderson in the lane. Ball on the floor. Tied up. What's the call?
Timeout. That should have been a timeout. The Hornets didn't have possession. Should have either been a foul or a timeout.
Instead, they call it a jump ball and give it to Kenyatta.
It's a break for the Hornets, really, because the Hornets now get the arrow back next time down.
Pickney will walk it up. Off to Kimball. Bluford, Asiamalo, and Keith Dickerson up front, completing the 5 on the floor for the Colts. Pickney Drives the lane, forces one up, no good, and they'll call it a travel.
Does a great job inside. Dylan Reese.
Yeah, Anderson also doing a great job of really making Pinckney work.
Yeah, well, Anderson moving his feet very well, but Reese reaches in, and then that kind of messed with the rhythm of Mike Pinckney. He ended up traveling, so it's a turnover going the other way. Great team defense from the Hornets.
Reese between the circles off to Anderson. They get it to Lauderdale. Around to Fox. He'll fire again from 3. Too strong.
And Kenyatta dodges
rebound on the floor. Dug out by Pinckney. Pinckney working on Anderson. Kicks it back. Asiamalo traveled again. That was similar to the first travel that we saw from Asiamalo. Just a little shuffle of the feet as he starts his move.
Yep. He's going to be subbed in for.
Here comes Marcel Burton to replace Asiamalo. So back to Pinckney, Burton, and Kimball. The 3-guard set. Coach Mike Reynoso going a little bit smaller, along with Josh Bluford and Keith Dickerson. So a very small unit on the floor for Kenyatta. Anderson trying to drop it down low. Barnes trying to establish position, but it's Dickerson who gets a hand in and knocks it out of play. 2:59 remaining in the first half. Anderson will bring it in baseline right. Quickly into Barnes. Kicks it back outside to Anderson. Hornets will take some time. Shot clock down to 11 as they working on the outside. Reese drives the lane. Drops it down low. Barnes off the glass and in.
Great ready hands there from Barnes, and Reese with a nice find.
I believe that's Barnes' first basket.
Indeed.
First 2.
Wow. Where's the
Fullerton
travel?
Wanted to travel. Instead, it's Bluford who will try from 3. That's short. Anderson with another rebound. Anderson into the front court, met by Pinckney. On the baseline, Barnes tries to drop it for Lauderdale through his legs. Pinckney into the front court. No numbers. Starts a drive on Fox.
Travel? No.
I'm going to say that's going to be not on the shot as Pinckney driving on Fox.
I think if you dig up there, if you're Fox, you don't get the foul called, but he came down with the arm, and that's going to be a 1-on-1 situation now for Kenyatta.
Hornets into the penalty. First foul on Fox.
Just the 1-on-1. So Pinckney
shoots 75% from the line. 7 points on the game so far for Mike Pinckney. That free throw is too strong. Another rebound for Anderson. I'm impressed with the rebounding as well from Nick Anderson.
That's his 5th.
Not bad, a point guard who's on his way to double-digit rebounds if he keeps the pace.
Russell.
Anderson has his pocket picked by Pinckney on the breakaway. Lost the handle.
Double dribble.
And he's going to call a double dribble. Unbelievable.
Man.
For Pinckney right there, and he's all alone coming in there. Full timeout taken. What a break for the Hornets. 1:58 remaining here in the first half. Game 1 of the 3C2A Basketball Championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Back to Las Positas College in our first quarterfinal of 4 in the 3C2A Basketball Championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. So after the Pinckney miscue on the breakaway, the Hornets have it back, looking to extend on a 7-point lead. Fox guarded closely by Pinckney. They skip it across. Anderson on a baseline drive and a push going against Kenyatta. And it looks like that's Lavelle Shackelford.
Colt had one to give, so Both teams now in the penalty, 1-1 the rest of the way. 1:46 remaining in the first half.
That is the second foul on Shackelford. And, of course, for Kenyatta, who only goes about 8 deep, foul trouble has to be a concern. Anderson off a screen, open for 3 and hits.
What great motion out of the delayed out of bounds there. They continue running their set, and just a terrific find. Anderson buries it.
Double-digit lead for the Hornets. This is their largest at 10.
Travel.
So Kimball on the drive.
Looked like the Hornets
shuffled his feet before any contact, and they called the travel.
It looks like the Hornets maybe just pulled the chair right from under him. I think he was expecting some kind of contact, but Kimball turns it over.
Fox across to Anderson. Skip it across to Reese. Reese, one of the leading scorers for the Hornets, doesn't have a basket here in the first half. What does it say for Fullerton? A 10-point lead, and a couple of their best players really haven't gotten into the action yet. Barnes in a crowd. The whistle comes in.
Well, Barnes has to do a better job of establishing position a little further away from the basket. He drop stepped to the baseline on that play, and luckily he's bailed out by the foul, but he goes right underneath the basket, really had nowhere to go.
Yeah, the foul going to go against Burton, his first, and Barnes heads to the line. Barnes comes in averaging 12.7 a game. The 62% foul shooter hits the first. One more coming. 1:04 remaining here in the first half. Hornets starting to assert control. They've led since the opening minute, and now they have their largest lead at 11 as Barnes misses the second free throw. Kimball gets it ahead to Shackelford. They work it around to Dickerson. Dickerson drives to the glass. Left-handed layup is good. So Dickerson answers for Kenyatta. They're back within 9. Anderson off to Reese. Reese starts a drive on Burton. Kicks it outside to Anderson. They want Barnes down in the low post. Anderson drives the lane, fans it out. Offensive foul called on Fullerton. It'll go back to Kenyatta. So Barnes heads to the bench, replaced by Nigel Carter. About a 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock as Pickney walks it into the front court. Pickney taking his time, the shot clock at 12. Still in control, well outside. Around the screen from Burton. Reese picks him up in a switch. Kimball open for 3, too strong. Long rebound, fought for, controlled by Burton. The teardrop won't go. Rebound pulled down by Carter, and that'll do it for the first half. We head to the locker room here in game number 1, 36-27. Fullerton with a 9-point lead. The first quarterfinal of 4 in the 3C2A basketball championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Second half set to get underway in quarterfinal number 1. The 3C2A basketball championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. The number 1 seed in the South, Fullerton College Hornets, with a 36-27 lead over number 4 seed in the North, Kenyatta College. And the Hornets, I think here has to be the good news if you're Fullerton College. 3 points combined from Kenny Barnes and Dylan Reese, and you still have a 9-point lead at the half, thanks in large part, of course, to Ian Fox.
Well, Ian Fox had 18. He was on fire in that first half, but I thought he did have a couple defensive miscues in the first half, and I think obviously the Hornets want to shore that up, but they still have a 9-point lead and are in pretty good shape to advance to Saturday.
Yeah, sort of co-MVP status to Nick Anderson, really doing a great job hounding Mike Pickney. They quickly work it down low. Barnes hangs in the air and scores.
Just what the doctor ordered. Had a chance to talk with the coaching staff for Fullerton at halftime. They said they want to establish post presence a little bit more, work it inside out. We see it right on the opening possession on the offensive side for Fullerton.
Burton with the runner. What touch for Marcel Burton. Answering the deuce from Barnes, back to a 9-point game. Reese, no points in the first half, but did chip in with 3 assists. So nice job by Dylan Reese. Lauderdale in the low post. Turnaround shot with the left hand, won't go. Rebound snapped down by Navarrete, who's returned for the second half. He's playing with 2 fouls.
It's pretty weak down low. Lauderdale's got to be better.
Meanwhile, Burton having some trouble. Second effort, shot up, and a foul. Davis,
Kimball, looking very good on that possession, and he goes right into Fox, and Fox, that's his second.
So Kimball with a sensational double pump, able to get the finish. And this is a pattern that we've seen. Kenyatta able to put together a little mini run to get back, but so far every time the Hornets have been able to answer. We'll delay here as we wait for Kimball. And now we'll have the free throw attempt. Kimball shoots 64% from the line, and that free throw rim's no good. Barnes has the rebound. Fox into the front court. Guarded closely by Pinkney. Off to Anderson. Anderson with Kimball guarding him tightly. Back to Fox. Shot clock down to 12. Barnes quickly surrounded as the double team comes from Pinkney, and a turnover as Barnes walks.
I think it could have went either way. You either call a walk or you call a foul on Pickney. You know it?
Long three from the corner, rimming no good. Rebound off to Reese. Reese will bring it up himself. Guarded by Burton. That one tipped off of Reese and out of play.
I got to tell you, if I'm Coach Webster, that happens one more time, I'm calling a timeout, and I'm going to rip into my players. That just can't happen. 2 careless possessions back-to-back from the Hornets. You're up by 7 right now, but it's a Kenyatta team that can score in bunches.
Yeah, and they're great with defensive pressure, as we talked about, among the leaders in steals as a team. So they're very opportunistic. Turnaround shot from Dickerson won't go. Rebound on the floor. Anderson with another rebound. Anderson angles left on the dribble. And is that going to go against Pickney?
Indeed it will, and that's a great job by Anderson, taking an angle that puts Pickney in a bad spot. He has to make contact, and it's a foul call. You can argue maybe a little ticky-tack, but a very heady play from Anderson on the angle.
First foul on Pickney. They'll bring it into Fox with a fresh shot clock. Fox off to Lauderdale between the circles. Fox works around a Lauderdale screen, comes up firing from 18 feet, scores.
Man, I knew he was going to shoot that as soon as he came around the corner, and I got to tell you, that form looks on point right now.
The runner won't go. Rebound fought for, controlled by Dickerson. Another opportunity. Navarrete from 15 feet. That's short. Rebound on the floor. Reese with it for Fullerton.
Navarrete just does not seem comfortable out there. He had a wide open look, and he can hit it from out there, just not in rhythm.
Anderson wants Barnes down low, back out. They play the 2-man game. Barnes faces up into the lane. The hook shot is good.
That's just way too easy. And Barnes feasting all over Navarrete, playing with 2 fouls, a little bit of foul trouble, and obviously, Jeff, you talked about the Colts not being very deep, and they have to be cognizant of that.
3 straight games with 20-plus for Kenny Barnes, and he's starting to get it going after a quiet first half. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound pulled down by Lauderdale. Navarrete continuing to struggle to find the mark.
Better from Lauderdale down low, being very solid on that rebound.
The Hornets back out to an 11-point lead. This is Reese, guarded by Burton. Skip pass over to Anderson in the corner. He'll try from 3, didn't get any. Navarrete out to Pickney. Pickney in from the left, shot off the glass, too strong. Barnes has the rebound. The Hornets want to run. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Fox down low. Lauderdale with the finish on the feed from Anderson. Timeout taken. The Hornets have their largest lead at 13. It's a full timeout for Mike Reynoso. 16-13 remaining in the game. The Hornets on top in quarterfinal number 1, the 3C2A championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. 44-31, the Hornets with their largest lead. 16-10 and counting remaining in the game. And the Colts with some work to do. Lavelle Shackelford has checked in as Coach Mike Reynoso shakes it up. Kenyatta tries to get back in. Salafai Asiamalo has also returned. Baseline drive, Dickerson's double pump is blocked by Lauderdale.
Lauderdale playing a lot stronger here defensively. Straight up, that's a very good sign.
Anderson jets into the front court. They work it down low to Barnes. Barnes, turnaround hook shot is short. Asiamalo has the rebound.
Surprised they don't call that. Travel.
Shackelford. And now the travel call comes in. It was a little bit late, but what a job by Nick Anderson. Getting right on top of Shackelford and really inducing that traveling violation.
Well, this is a Perry Webster coach ball club, and what you're going to get there, you're going to get a solid defensive group, and we've seen a lot here throughout. Kenyatta very good offensively, and they only have 31 points on the board right now.
Barnes down low, late whistle comes in and a foul called. Good feed from Anderson, finding Barnes again.
And Burton in shock that he was called for a foul, but, I mean, what else do you expect? You hit the shooter on the arm as he's going up. That's going to get called pretty much every time.
Well, it's a championship event here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Is it time for trivia here? Because of course we've been prepared. Maddie, do we have our trivia question ready?
Locked and loaded, we're being told.
All right, now this one here. I don't have it right in front of me, but this is name the player among these 4 who has failed to win the MVP award multiple times in their career.
And the options are Karl Malone, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, and Moses Malone.
I'll tell you, not an easy choice there.
I got to tell you.
45-31 as Barnes hits the free throw.
I felt pretty good about answering it, and I was right.
I knew you would crush that one, though. A little backstory on that one. I knew you would know that one. Asiamalo's feed is broken up, stolen by Anderson. 2-on-1. Off to Reese. In from the right. Layup won't go. Barnes crashing the offensive glass. He's got it. Wow. Rebound on the floor. Whistles come in and a foul call. Barnes wants a high five on the foul call, but he's not going to get it from the official.
Nice job, ref. Way to do your job. Yeah, he's probably not going to get the fist bump there either.
Barnes is a team guy, but yeah, certain things you just can't appear to be doing. So a non-shooting foul. The Hornets will bring it in baseline right. Reese with the catch and shoot and gets the basket.
Great job. by Fullerton, catching the Colts off guard, and the rails really starting to come off the track.
Reese with his first 2, and it gives the Hornets a 16-point lead. Bluford has checked in for Kenyatta. Kimball driving on Fox, stops, puts it up and scores.
Could need more of that.
So Davis Kimball with the finish. And I have to say, as impressed as we've been with Ian Fox, and why not, leading all scorers with 20 in the game. Fox wide open down low, brings it back out to Anderson. Fox angles left, kicks it out to Reese. I think there's an opportunity for Kenyatta to attack Fox on the defensive end. It also might serve to tire him out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you have to do. If you find a weak spot, you have to go right after it, exploit it as much to your advantage until the opposing team adjusts. But Kenyatta really hasn't done that. And I got to tell you, they've come out really flat here in the second half.
Anderson finds Barnes off the glass, good and 1.
They're just being outgunned and outplayed right here. And, you know, Coach Perry Webster talked about, we talked about at the top of the broadcast, he was concerned about Dickerson, Navarrete stepping out, and they've really been a non-factor from the perimeter, and Kenyatta's really had some tough sledding down low.
Barnes starting to get it going. He had 3 in the first half, but he's up to 10 with a free throw coming here.
Fox leads all scorers with 20. He's been just lights out here in the quarterfinal, first one on the day on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Remember, everybody, game 1 of 4. You can go to our website, www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. We will be here all weekend. We have a timeout on the floor. It's a 30.
The Hornets have their largest lead at 17, and it has to be a very satisfied Perry Webster on the bench for Fullerton College. Well,
that's a lie. Perry's never satisfied.
What am I saying? It's a head coach here in basketball. Of course he's not satisfied. He's going to talk about all the things he's seeing that need to be better. But it was a concern. We've known Perry for a little while, going back to our coverage of Saddleback College when he was a player.
Champion in 2010 with Saddleback College. They ended up going, I think they made the semifinals in 2011, eventually going down to City College in San Francisco, and that was at Ventura.
Yeah, they made the finals one year, and then they won it the other year. I remember that he was there. That was the year before we went. They won it without us. I mean, how is that even possible?
I think that was at Cal Lutheran Thousand Oaks, and then the following year was at Ventura. Shout out to Ventura, who next year will be hosting for the next 2 years the men's and women's basketball championships for the 3C2A. And then a special hello, of course, to Will Cowan, who we will have on Saturday for the semis.
Yeah, we ought to know where that is. But getting back to Perry Webster, he was very concerned about what this Kenyatta team did, of course, and the challenges that they presented, and has to feel very good about the way his team has performed so far. They lead it comfortably by 17. Down in the low post, turnaround shot, left-handed shot is good from Navarrete. Navarrete goes right to work on Ross down low.
There's still plenty of time for Kenyatta. They are down by 15 against a very stingy Hornets ball club defensively, but who knows?
Anderson starts a drive, kicks it out. Reese will fire from 3 and hit.
Man.
Dylan Reese buries the tray. 18 points the lead for Fullerton. Dickerson starts a drive, picked up by Ross. Goes to the crossover and dribbles it off his foot and out of bounds. Another turnover for Kenyatta. This one from Dickerson. The Hornets have it back. An 18-point lead and the ball. And now the Hornets can even start to think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball.
Not only that, I think about maybe getting some subs in there.
Yeah, thinking about this format. They're going to take this one down. They need 2 more victories in the next 3 days.
They've only played 7 players here tonight.
Lauderdale shot rims no good. Pickney has the rebound. Kicks it out to Asiamalo. Picked up by Reese. Spinning right, back left. The leaner won't go. Rebound to Anderson. He's creeping toward double digits in rebounds. Fox gets a high screen from Lauderdale. Off to Anderson. Outside Reese with a baseline drive. In from the right, gets the finish. Dylan Reese with 5 in a row. The Hornet lead is 20. Navarrete lowers the shoulder. Shot up on the glass, won't go. Lauderdale picks up the foul. As Anthony Navarrete will head to the line for a couple of free throws. Navarrete might have caught a little bit of a break there, playing with 2 fouls. that he didn't pick up foul number 3. Instead, it goes against Kendall Lauderdale, his second foul. And Navarrete will head to the line. First free throw, rims in. Navarrete now with 9 points in the game. Coming up, it'll be East Los Angeles College and Feather River College. Brand new format this year. Quarterfinals, part of championship weekend for both the men and women. Navarrete's second free throw, no good. Colts showing some full court pressure, and it produces a turnover. Kenny Barnes with the travel. Kenyatta gets it back. They have Pickney and Burton in the backcourt with Shackelford, Dickerson, and Navarrete up front. Pickney dancing on the dribble. Off to Navarrete. Baseline drive, reverse layup is good. Navarrete up to 11 in the game. Turnover in the backcourt. Shackelford off to Burton. Layup is good. Timeout taken by Fullerton. Looked like Reese just wasn't expecting a pass.
Coach Webster about to rip the fur off of some of his players.
Well, this is, going what we're talking about here. That's obviously going to draw an immediate timeout. Reese is just standing there, not sure where he's looking, but the ball bounces right off his chest as he's not expecting the ball to come back. Not prepared, obviously, to deal with the press. Step aside very quickly, the Hornets with a 15-point lead here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. (55-40). The Hornets with a 15-point lead, even after the quick 4-0 run for Kenyatta. So the Hornets will have it back. Colts coming out, showing full court pressure. Obviously expect to see the Hornets handle it a little bit better than they did just moments ago when they coughed it up. Get it into Barnes. Back to Anderson. Fox on the far side, over the timeline, leaves it for Barnes, gets it back in the lane. Tipped, stolen by Shackelford. Pickney running the other way, doesn't have numbers. Pickney will back it out. Crossover on Anderson, into the lane, in a crowd. Foul called. Pickney going to head to the line for a couple of free throws. Well, you have to wonder, with Kenyatta being one of the best in the state in terms of creating turnovers, specifically stealing the basketball, why maybe we didn't see the full court pressure sooner. But it's certainly been effective here in the last minute or so, as Pickney's first free throw is good. This is a 5-0 run with one more coming. I asked the question moments ago, maybe why didn't we see the full court press a little bit sooner, given its effectiveness and given the fact that Kenyatta is in the top 5 in states in the state as a team in steals.
Well, the Hornets are usually pretty good, especially we talked about how good their backcourt is. And when you have good backcourt, that's probably the last thing you want to do against teams that have very heady ball players in the backcourt. But you're exactly right here, Stoy. This zone and this trap in the full court has presented some problems.
They get it over the timeline. Nigel Carter is checked in for Fullerton.
Of course, right now at this point, if you're Kenyatta, you want to chip away, but you want to speed up the game and get as many shots up at the basket as possible.
Anderson around a high screen, drops it down low to Barnes. Back outside, Anderson around a Lauderdale screen. Shot clock down to 6. Fox from way downtown hits again.
Jeez.
Ian Fox from about 25 feet. Pickney on the drive, high off the glass, that's good. So Pickney answers back. 14-point lead for Fullerton. Carter over the timeline, gets it back to Anderson. Shot clock at 18. They try to trap Anderson over to Fox. Hornets content to take a little bit of time. Barnes, double team comes, back outside. Carter with a jump stop, and it's a blocking call. It's going to go against Lavelle Shackelford.
That's a tough one against Shackelford. Really looked like Carter was in the air.
So a break perhaps for the Hornets. They'll bring it in baseline left. Nick Anderson will trigger it in. Lauderdale into the lane, quickly doubled, spins back baseline, shot off the glass is good.
Nice touch from the big man, now his 6th point.
Back to a 16-point lead. Pinckney drive into the lane, layup won't go, but a foul called again. Pinckney and Anderson locking horns all day. Anderson picks up the foul, and that's number 3.
No, that's
number 4.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, number 4 on Nick Anderson, and that potentially a huge development in this game. Certainly if Kenyatta is going to hope to make any kind of comeback here. Getting Anderson and his ball handling ability off the floor certainly couldn't hurt. It's Dylan Reese who will come on and replace Anderson. 10:29 remaining in the game. One more free throw coming for Pinckney. So Pinckney connects on both. 14-point lead. Barnes over to Reese. Reese in on Navarrete, and a traveling call gives it back to Kenyatta. Kimball off to Burton. Colt's going to work it around the outside. Pinckney from way downtown, rimming no good. Lauderdale snaps down the rebound for Fullerton.
You got to go trap the big man. See Lauderdale a little late to react there, and luckily the double didn't come because I think that would have been a precarious situation for Lauderdale had the double come over.
Fox is bumped by Pinckney. That is the 7th team foul on Kenyatta. So Ian Fox is going to head to the line. Fox shoots 79% from the line. 2nd foul on Pinckney. 9:54 remaining in the game. First free throw from Fox, too strong, but the rebound out to Carter. So the Hornets with another opportunity, both to take some time off the clock and potentially to extend the lead. Reese on the near side. Off to Lauderdale. Free throw line jumper, rimming, no good. Rebound to Kimball. Kimball jets into the front court. Pinckney starts a drive on Carter. Out to Navarrete. Navarrete has Fox in the switch, looking for Dickerson down low, and it's broken up and stolen by Lauderdale. Well, that's one of those situations where if you're Kenyatta, you'd love to see maybe a little clear out. Let Navarrete work on Ian Fox.
I agree.
That's a great matchup for Kenyatta. Entry pass to Reese, stolen by Pinckney. Pinckney into the front court. Step back 3, rimming, no good. Rebound to Kimball. Foul called, it's on the floor, non-shooting foul. But Kenyatta will keep possession with a little under 9 minutes to go in the game.
It's a great job by Davis, just flying in out of nowhere there for a second chance opportunity. 15 foul now on the Hornets. And Kenyatta really has to work to attack to see if they can get into the bonus, start chipping away at the charity stripe.
Yeah, 15 foul for Fullerton here in the second half. Shackelford will bring it in baseline right. Lazy pass, Lauderdale with the steal. Lauderdale with the jam. Kendall Lauderdale with the steal and finish. 16-point lead for Fullerton. Long 3 from Burton doesn't catch iron.
Get better.
Reese off to Fox. The Hornets appear to have weathered the mini storm. That one nearly stolen by Kimball. Terrific effort trying to jump that passing lane. but it stays with Fullerton. Shot clock at 18. 8:29 remaining in the game. Reese will bring it in, foul line extended right. They will get it to Ian Fox. And Mike, I'm not sure, but I think Fox might have played every minute.
I haven't seen him come off. I think you're right.
So far, every minute in this one. Drops the pass down low. Barnes has that shot rejected. The ball out of bounds. It will belong to Kenyatta. Bluford with the block. Gets it back for Kenyatta, but they have some work to do, trailing by 16. A little delay while they mop up the floor. I'll throw the trivia question up there one more time, Matt. Let's just remind everybody what we're thinking about here in game number one.
And let's talk about correspondence here before you do chime in here, Joe Stoy. SoCalCollegeSports@gmail.com. Go ahead and chime in. We also have a chat module available on YouTube. If you're watching on a computer, you can chime in with some of the answers or your guess to the trivia question. Stoy, go ahead and fire away.
So it's which player among the four listed here, the shot from Bluford is good, failed to win the MVP multiple times. And again, it's Karl Malone, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Moses Malone. Got a little Hall of Fame action there among those four. Reese stepped on the sideline. The turnover gives it back to Kenyatta.
A lot of time left here, Stoy, and Kenyatta not going away.
Kimball over the timeline. It looks like the Hornets gone to a 2-3 zone. Kimball nearly loses the handle. That one tipped away and stolen. Fox trying to call a timeout, but the ball's still loose on the floor. And instead a foul is called. Fox wanted the timeout, Michael, but he couldn't get the ball corralled.
I have a correct answer on the trivia.
Of course you do. Well, you know, you got this one right away. But yes, I knew he'd get this one. Actually, the only person here I think who didn't know this one was me. The guy who came up with the question. I looked this one up. So we'll take a little more time. We'll let people kind of think about that, come up with their own answer. But I know that you got this one right away. I was very impressed. No hesitation.
Jay Holloway got this one correct.
Navarrete from 15 feet
Hit
in on the arm.
Yeah.
He'll head to the line for a couple of free throws. All I want is a little bit of credit for the four names I came up with because I thought they were pretty good. I felt like each guy was a real possibility in someone's mind. Both to have won it multiple times and to have only won it once. First free throw from Navarrete is up and good. While we're having a little bit of fun with this one, there are the four options. Yes, one of the guys only won it once. One of the four guys won it 3 times.
Well, I already know the answer to this, but
yeah. Well, we throw that one out there too. You should want to think about that. Which one of the four won it 3 times? The other 2 won it twice. The Hornets break the press. Barnes in from the right, and a travel called on Barnes. The turnover sends it back to Kenyatta. Meanwhile, the Colts are within 12 with 7:11 remaining. Still got a ball game here in quarterfinal number 1. The 3C2A championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. 7:11 remaining in quarterfinal number 1. And the Hornets, with a 12-point lead, they've led by as many as 20. And the Kenyatta College Colts trying to cut into this deficit. But so far, the Hornets, who have led since the opening minute in this one, have been able to withstand every charge. And they're 7-11 away from a spot in the semifinals. Pickney kicks it across to Kimball. Bluford with a drive on Barnes. Loses the handle as he goes up. The ball out of bounds. It'll go back to Fullerton. So Barnes with the good defense. Bluford coughs it up. Now the Hornets will work against that full court trap. Fox on the near sideline. Hooks a pass to Anderson, who's returned. Has that one tipped away by Pickney and stolen. Pickney with another steal. He averages over 2 a game on the season. In on Anderson. Hard drive from Kimball and a foul called. This will go against Fox. Kimball continues to attack Ian Fox here in the second half.
That's Fox's third.
So Fox up to 3 fouls, both teams in the penalty. So this will be a 1-and-1 for Davis Kimball. Kimball comes in averaging 11.5 a game, 64% foul shooter. This one in the air, rimming no good. Anderson tracks down the long rebound. He's quickly trapped on the baseline.
Smart
timeout taken by Nick Anderson. With 6:41 remaining in the game, it's a full timeout. We'll step aside. You're watching the 3C2A Basketball Championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. The Hornets will work at the length of the court. Nigel Carter gets it into Anderson. Kenyatta continues with the full court trap. Fox tiptoeing the near side, gets it over to Barnes. Anderson now will slow it down. And now, predictably, Kenyatta moves to the half-court trap. Shackelford picks up the foul on Fox.
That's a bad foul.
Sends the 79% foul shooter to the line. Ian Fox, who had 18 in the first half, he's up to 23 in the game to lead all scorers. This will be a 1-and-1 on the 8th team foul for Kenyatta. And Fox coolly drains it. One more coming. Well, this has been the story of this game. Not a lot of runs on either side, really short runs, but the Hornets have just been slowly, almost inexorably pulling away in this one, a little bit at a time. Widened it out to double digits for much of this second half, and they lead it now by 14. Davis, as they work it around to Pickney, with the crossover on Carter, in traffic, forces a shot up. The follow by Kimball is good.
How big is Kimball big on the offensive rebounds here in the second half? He has been a man playing with his hair on fire.
Yeah, Pickney with a great job drawing the defense to him and getting that shot up on the glass. A little push off there from Carter, gets away with it. Anderson now will slow things down. The Hornets have done a nice job adjusting to this trap in the last few minutes. Kenyatta within 12 but running out of time. Fox splitting a double team. Gets it back from Carter. Step back three is good.
Money.
Fox up to 25 in the game. Did they call that a long two? No, it's a three.
I want to say it's 28.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm just a little bit ahead of David Silverstein in this one.
No, that's okay. It's a lag on the internet.
Navarrete pulls up and puts that one in off the glass, 67-54. They're trading baskets, but that's not going to work for Kenyatta.
No, not at this point.
A new season high for Ian Fox with 28.
It's a good time to have it.
Yeah, what a time. Not a bad time. They send the trap. Carter on the near side. Drives it right, kicks it out. Anderson will try from three and hit.
And you knew that was going in as soon as it went up. He had his feet set. He hopped into the shot. Great rhythm, good form, money.
Back-to-back threes. The Hornets back out in front by 16. Pinckney drops it to Navarrete in the lane, has that one knocked away and stolen.
And how good are the Hornets? He just seemed to come out of nowhere with hands that seem to always find the ball.
Fox guarded closely by Shackelford. Works it around, I should say, over to Anderson on the left wing. Working on Kimball, hooks a pass to Barnes, in from the left, good and one. Barnes with the finish, and that one may be the finish for Fullerton here against Kenyatta.
That's the shovel shot. What I mean by that, they're going to the tool shed to go get a shovel to bury Kenyatta.
Barnes with 13 in the game. He's got 10 in the second half with another free throw coming. And that one off the back iron. Pinckney high up for the rebound. Hurries it into the front court. They kick it around. Kimball will try a long three. Barely caught the iron. Out of play. It'll be back to Fullerton. Well, with 4:04 remaining here, it was just about time to give our official answer here on our first trivia question. We should have one for every game.
We have a correct answer. That, again, from Jay Holloway, friend of the program here.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what? I consider him part of the team of SoCal College Sports.
Absolutely, Jay. We worked the game, the Compton East Los Angeles game this last weekend with a spot in the championships on the line.
That's a great seg because game 2, East Los Angeles. It's ELAC and the Huskies taking on the Golden Eagles from FRC Feather River.
I wish I could say that was totally planned, but no, it was a little bit of happenstances. Fox will head to the line. So do we give the final answer?
Yeah, it's up right now.
All right.
Kobe Bryant, only one MVP, and I contest that he probably should not have won the MVP that year. Not saying that he was not a candidate to win it other years.
Is that the year that Chris Paul had the great year? Yeah. That's about as good a year as you're going to see as the year that Chris Paul had, but obviously Kobe in the very long and distinguished career. Would you have gotten the guy that had more than two? And that one before, I know we ended up discussing this one. No.
Was it Moses?
It's Moses, who had 3.
Man, what a stud.
Fox hits both free throws. You know he's a favorite of mine. 74-54. The Hornets well on their way to a semifinal berth here in quarterfinal number 1 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Taking a look at some of the stats here from this one, 74-54, Fullerton with the lead. Kenyatta, 15th in the 3C2A as the teardrop from Pinckney won't go. 15th in the 3C2A in three-pointers made on the season. They have hit 1 here today, 1 of 14. What a job by the Hornets defensively, particularly on the perimeter. They have the 20-point lead and the ball with under 4 minutes to go. Anderson directing traffic, tries to leave it for Reese.
It should go the other way.
This one, I believe, was off of Reese. It'll go back to Kenyatta. That is the 20th turnover in this one for Fullerton. So, something for head coach Perry Webster to work on for the next couple days before they're back in action on the semifinals.
There's always something to work on.
He'll have something to talk about. Pickney with the long three, hits again.
I think he heard you.
Yeah.
2 of 15 now.
I thought I saw them look up there and say, is that right? We only have one? Well, we got to do something about that.
Yeah, they were one away from the Blutarski.
With 16 in the game. Another turnover gives it back to Kenyatta. But the Hornets maintain the 17-point lead as we wind down toward 3 minutes to go
Pickney's gonna
here
pull
in
up.
the ball game. Pickney guarded by Anderson. Kimball drives it left, picks it up, back to Pickney. Splits a double team. Long three for Kimball, rimming no good. Reese high up for the rebound. 2 of 16 from long range. Fox wants a timeout. And he ends up in kind of a bad spot there and ends up picking up the dribble right on the baseline. Fortunately for Fullerton, he alertly was able to call a timeout.
Yeah, Coach Webster did not like the timeout call there. You don't really need it. You're in a bad spot. But, look, this is a game that, you're probably in the driver's seat right now, but you don't need to call a timeout in that spot. Work out of it. Don't think the timeout is always going to bail you because I tell you what, looks like Fullerton is going to make it to Saturday and possibly Sunday. But later on in the tournament, you don't want that. You don't want to use that as a crutch.
Yeah.
What you want to do, you want to use this as a teaching point and say, hey, look, don't go to that part of the floor. You don't need to go right into the corner exactly where the defense wants you to go in a trap.
Yeah.
And pick up your dribble.
And obviously, you wonder, this is a situation, too, with this format. You think about that there are other teams here, and there's a lot of scouting here. And I don't think it's beyond the other teams watching what goes on here to note that in stretches here, the Hornets have had some trouble against the press. Maybe make that a little more part of the game plan. Go to it a little bit sooner if you have the sense that they're a little unsure.
Spread the word, everybody. You can watch this game live, www.socalcollegesports.com. You can also go to the 3C2A website. There is a homepage for all the games this weekend. We also have one ourselves. You can go to our channel on YouTube, SoCal College Sports 1. Get the word out. We want to up the views this weekend. We got some great basketball here in the 3C2A, a ton of talent, and just a lot of great players.
Anderson and Fox in the backcourt for Fullerton. Ross, Carter, and Reese up front for the Hornets. Carter from three is good.
And that's probably the final nail in the coffin that the Hornets are going to lead now here. 2:21 remaining. It's a 20-point lead for the Hornets.
Carter with his second three. Kimball on the drive, bumped by Fox. The shot before, or I should say the foul before the shot. Nonetheless, both teams in the penalty. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Davis Kimball.
CCCAA sports.org. That is the webpage for the California Community College Athletic Association. Shout out to Carlisle Carter, George Monikakis, Mike Robles.
Kimball's first free throw is good. He's got 7 in the game.
How about a shout out to the camera operator here today for SoCalCollegeSports.com. We have 2 of them. Brianna Marquez and Jorge Zepeda. The name sounds familiar. It should.
Not the last time they're going to be mentioned this weekend, I don't think.
No, I got to believe you're right.
Yeah, we got the whole team. Whole team here.
Whole team plus 1.
It was almost a little bit larger.
Almost.
I'll tell you, every year we got more people in our cars coming up here. I think.
We also have more equipment in our cars.
That's it. Not long till we have the truck. Till we need it. 1 out of 2.
I don't think we need the truck.
For Kimball at the line.
Maybe a bigger vehicle. What if we had like a broadcast vehicle like they had in Die Hard?
Hopefully it fares a little bit better than that vehicle did. Anderson off to Reese. Drives the lane. Ross hammered as he goes up. He'll head to the line for a couple of free throws.
And I've already said you're not going to dunk on me. Go earn your money.
Third foul on Navarrete. Under 2 minutes to go. Well, you would have thought coming into this weekend, obviously, anybody, once it gets down to this point, a real shot here, but Fullerton's certainly one of the favorites, and I think they've done a nice job of establishing that point even further in their first quarterfinal. This is anytime you can win double digits, leading by double digits throughout, this is a pretty dominating win in a quarterfinal matchup.
Yeah, I mean, the Hornets are no stranger to upped level of competition, and we talked about it. They play in the Orange Empire Conference. That's Saddleback. They've been in the state championship mix pretty much ever since Andy Brown's been there.
Yep.
Perry Webster, coach for Fullerton, he won a state championship with Coach Ground at Saddleback. So, that's a team and that's a conference that's no stranger to success. Riverside, Cypress. Last time the Hornets lost was to Cypress. So
Shackelford with the 3.
when you get up here amongst the big boys in the state, playing against that elite level competition really serves you well.
How about this? If you're a Hornet fan, last year, the football champion, City College of San Francisco, the basketball champion on the men's side, City College of San Francisco. This year, the football champion, Fullerton College.
Uh-oh.
And here are the Hornets.
Uh-oh.
Fox from way downtown and hits again.
He's got 33 here today in game 1 of the quarterfinals. What a performance.
Capping it off perhaps with that one. Pinckney will try. No good. The rebound to Reese. Kimball had the near steal.
That's an offensive foul.
And now Reese and Kimball doing a little bit of talking after the whistle, but they'll be quickly separated.
You don't need it right now. Coach Webster's probably going to get Reese out of there, but you don't need that. You got 2 more games possibly to go. Just be heady. You don't need to talk any. We have a sub coming on. Coach Webster screaming at the official saying, hey, get my guy out of there.
So Reese checks out, 1:03 to go. The ball belongs to Canada again, but the issue has been settled. A 20-point lead for the Hornets, and they will move on to the semifinals on Saturday. Who they will play remains to be seen. Pinckney in and out from 3. The rebound to Anderson. Is Anderson up to double digits in rebounds? He's got to be.
I have him at 9.
But maybe he hasn't gotten credit for that last one. Under a minute to go.
Well, he has 8 right now, and I don't think he's had credit. He's going to get credit. He has 9 points, 8 assists, and 9 rebounds.
What a job. The runner from Fox, I guess he's not done yet.
Yeah.
35 in the game. Pinckney starts the drive. The teardrop is good. How about the shot for Pinckney on Anderson? But all for naught as the Hornets in impressive fashion move into the semifinals. Anderson over the timeline. About a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Well, ordinarily late in the game, I'll start to ask you, as we'll have a shot clock violation here. 1.6 seconds remaining, and Kenyatta will have time, just enough time to bring it in here and finish it out. And ordinarily, I ask you who you think the player of the game is going to be, Michael. But
no, we see him right there. That's Ian Fox.
I'm not even going to ask the question of you. I think it's so obvious is the answer.
35 points, 2 assists, got a couple steals. He's been fantastic here today. 11 of 15, 6 of 10 from beyond the arc.
The final score will be 83-65 as Kimball able to get an uncontested layup to finish it out. And with 0.4 remaining, that will do it. The final score in quarterfinal number 1, Fullerton 83, Kenyatta 65. We'll come back, wrap things up here in quarterfinal number 1. First of 4 today on SoCalCollegeSports.com. first semifinalist through, number 1 seed in the South, Fullerton College, an 83-65 winner, and they move on to Saturday. And Michael, Ian Fox, wow.
Wow is correct. 35 points in the victory. He started off with a hot hand and ended with a hot hand. Very impressive here today.
Yeah, and in the middle, had a hot hand. My memory is memory is right.
He never cooled down seemingly here today, and what a performance really as a team defensively against a team that's very good from the perimeter. We talked about it. You talked about it. 15th in the state and made 3-pointers. They only made 2 here today, and that speaks to the type of defensive pressure that Fullerton is going to put on you with the athletes and the players that they have. Watch out. That's a team to watch here today.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan Reese, a guy that ordinarily scores 12 a game, really taken out of it, had, I want to say just maybe about 5 points in the game. Don't have it right in front of me now, but I know didn't get a huge performance from him. Kenny Barnes struggled for long stretches, yet you look up on the scoreboard and an 18-point win. That has to be scary. If you're a team thinking about playing them, it's like, wow, we can take some of their key guys away from what they want to do, and they're still
get blown out.
Yeah, they're still dropping a double-digit win on them, and I think, as you alluded to a moment ago, that goes to a lot to the team defense that they play. Obviously well coached and had an outstanding year. And for Kenyatta, a disappointing finish, but it's a great bounce-back story for them after 10 wins last year. Get all the way back, 23 wins in a very tough conference. We talked about the stat at the very top. 4 20-win teams in that conference alone, the Coast North in the North. That's 4 out of 8 in the entire NorCal section here in the 3C2A. So half of the teams that win 20 games in that one conference. Kenyatta finishes second, make it all the way here to Las Positas. I was very impressed with Michael Pinckney as well, with 18 points leading the way for Kenyatta. But, it's never satisfying to finish the season on a loss. That's always disappointing, but I think a lot to be proud of and a lot to look forward to for Kenyatta moving forward after the way they bounce back.
Yeah, the number 1 seed in the South takes care of business here in Game 1. Game 2 coming up. It's ELAC and Feather River coming up on SoCalCollegeSports.com's continuing coverage of the 3C2A 2017 men's and women's basketball playoffs. We'll be back in a moment. You can go to our website, www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. You can also go to the homepage, CCCAASports.org. There are links on both pages to all of the games this weekend. Game 2 coming up today in just a bit, about 20 minutes. Stay with us.